there are hidden agendas or things that are not in alignment with purity are going to come up to the surface to be renegotiated, reconnected, recalibrated. And so that which you are accustomed to may fall away. But it might appear in the collapsing of systems of these sorts that then what will happen, and I won't have anything, and I will be left. And I've been counting on that or saving for that my entire life. But simultaneously, and as fast as the systems that shock you and that collapse all around the planet in many different sectors, new potential vibrations, new innovations, new energies, new possibilities in alignment with love and in alignment with unity and collaboration and community are going to pop unexpectedly up very, very quickly. All right, welcome everybody. So good to be here with you. This happens every Wednesday at 3 o'clock, and it's our opportunity to connect with the angel, Raphael, the Archangel, and ask her or him, however you attune to Raphael, questions, universal questions. We're so excited about this. And if you are listening to this somewhere other than on the Zoom call with me right now, perhaps on YouTube, and you too want to ask the angel Raphael a question, you can join our free membership in our community, and that way you get a Zoom link and you can raise your hand and ask. So I'm going to channel the Angel Raphael. I've been doing this a very long time, about 37 years. The way that I channel is I close my eyes, I make a toning sound, I rock back and forth, and I say, hello, just like that. And wherever you are in the world, you're going to say as loud as you can, hello, and so that you can connect too with the Angel Raphael energetically. And then we'll move into whatever messages want to come through, and you'll have your opportunity to connect and ask questions. All right, so here we go. Hmm, hmm. Ow, 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 hello.
Hello.
Hello, hello. Ow, ow.
Hello.
Wow, wow, wow. We are very happy to be here from the angelic realm to communicate and to attune to all of you and your energies and frequencies at this time with our understanding, in which you have questions in the linear thought process and within your mind in which you are wanting to share, as we can converse in this way. However, we want to remind all of you that it is the frequency in which is transmitted and the vibration here of love that is of most importance. And so, what is it?
Hi, Raphael. So,
Hello.
hello. There is.
Hello. Hello.
Hello. There is a lot going on in the world right now, and I can really tell by the amount of hands that we have up. And we have economic stock market crashes, we have wars, we have all kinds of international things that cause a lot of people fear. And my question is, how can people stay centered in the love while remaining practical and realistic about the events that might be happening that could affect their day-to-day and their life?
Well, first of all, we want to congratulate all of you, for you are real warriors to be here on the planet in this time of transition, because you are in a liminal space, you are in the in between of paradigms. And we recognize that this can create anxiety, like you're speaking of, and fear as certain things in which you are accustomed to and you rely on and are a sense of security are pulled out from underneath you and are no longer there. And this energy that you are experiencing right now, we can tell you is only going to intensify, and it is going to amplify, and it's going to feel like shock waves that shock your system. And then you start to calibrate to it and come into some type of balance around it. And then you're going to feel another shock, and etc. Because you are literally tearing apart and dissolving anything that is not in relationship to unified consciousness. And so when you are speaking of this energy or the system that you call the financial market or the stock market, it is a system in which you've collectively agreed upon to place energy, which you see as money or dollars or whatever it may be, which are numbers on a sheet that give you a feeling and a sensation of security or a sense of something to fall into or that you are safe. And we recognize that when that system in which you rely in that way for your sense of security is no longer operating in the way in which it had to date, and it becomes extraordinarily volatile and you do not know what to expect, it creates this anxiety and this fear. But this is temporary because these systems, anything that is based in a vibration that has any corruption in it, or a sense of competition in a way in it, or is fighting against itself, or there are hidden agendas or things that are not in alignment with purity, are going to come up to the surface to be renegotiated, reconnected, recalibrated. And so that which you are accustomed to may fall away. But it might appear in the collapsing of systems of these sorts that then what will happen, and I won't have anything, and I will be left. And I've been counting on that or saving for that my entire life. But simultaneously, and as fast as the systems that shock you and that collapse all around the planet in many different sectors, new potential vibrations, new innovations, new energies, new possibilities in alignment with love and in alignment with unity and collaboration and community are going to pop unexpectedly up very, very quickly. And so the time lapse between an old system and a new system, in that in between time, that empty space, is becoming less and less until it merges and it overlaps in a way that is seamless, so that you may have lost something, but you're gaining something new. And so, as long as you can maintain a sense of trust in that, in the building and in the creation of the new earth, the new paradigm, the new way of being that is based if coming from a new state of consciousness, and you place your energy and attention there, that space in between your loss and what is born or created will be seamless, and you will recognize that the potential for creation, manifestation in every way, in all of your experiences, and energies and innovations that will come online very rapidly, that will create changes that cannot be perceived from your perspective, will begin to take place. And so that which you're fearing about, that actually isn't necessarily something to fear, will no longer be of relevance to you because your energy and attention will be somewhere else. And so perhaps your question is, well, how do you deal with that to end the fear in the meantime? Is that you must dig deep into the essence, into the core, into the root of who you are, and know that there is nothing outside of yourself that gives you a sense of security or safety, and that it all resides within, because it is a catalyst to open up to the remembering of your pure potential and the potential of creation, of manifestation, of abundance, of magic, of energy, reality that you can bring online through the innate wisdom and power that resides within you, and that it is not somewhere outside of you or separate or in a bank account or in a market or a news agenda on the television, that it resides inside.
Thank you so much, Raphael. And so, how do we anchor this sense of security in our being? And what is this vision that we can plant in our minds that will help catalyze the creation of whatever it is that is going to replace this?
Ah, well, it's going to start to show up. Many of you are going to begin to have experiences because what's happening is, in a sense, what you might think of as like a glitch in the matrix. You have been collaborating and agreeing collectively on a specific way of being that has certain constructs. And as those constructs dissolve, whether you are conscious of it or not, you have already been preparing for a long period of time in the collective and collaborating with other beings from other realms in the birthing of this new world, this new reality. And so you will start to see evidence of this as it will begin to appear in your experience, and you will begin to see things happening that perhaps were not happening before, or you'll be able to sense or understand things, or be able to create more things, or align into magic, or open up possibilities in ways that before were not possible. And so when you begin to have these experiences or notice them or hear about them, and they start to come into your reality, begin to continue to focus on that and to give that energy, to give that attention, because new networks all around the planet are coming online, and old networks are they are falling away, in a sense, like you're rebooting up these much higher energies that are connected into the inner earth, connected to the galactic core, and these new networks are coming online. And once they start to form around the planet, you'll begin to tap into them because they are a part of you. They are not separate. And the other systems that were based on a different way of being, as the cycle has closed and the Kali Yuga has closed, and you're moving into the Aquarian age, they too will close. They will have to, by default, collapse. That it is, there is no other way other than those systems to dissolve and new systems to be born. And so when you start to tap into, especially nature, you'll begin to become more acquainted with the interaction of the new networks that are being rebooted, that are coming online, and they'll begin to connect and to communicate with you, and you'll begin to communicate with each other in a different way, and you'll be able to communicate with light in a different way, and water in a different way, and sound in a different way, and the trees in a different way, and the animals and one another, and everything will start to shimmer everywhere. And you'll begin to notice it. And right now, it just might be a glimpse of a moment where that shimmering new earth comes into your experience, or you have a moment of purity and innocence and bliss, or you have a moment of synchronicity and light and expansion or magic, and then it falls away and it disappears, and you find yourself back in the 3D experience, in the construct, and it feels more contracted, but it feels familiar and somehow comfortable. And then a shock wave will come in about something that shocks you in the outside world, such as you were asking, like the stock market. It might shock you into something. And that shocking and that energy that's coming in is literally hitting your entire nervous system, and it is dissolving your relationship with these particular networks, and it is creating spaciousness and room for these other networks to start to flood in for the light and the plasmic energies and the inner primordial waters and the vibrations and the sounds and the colors that are coming in from all different energies that are hitting and bombarding your planet now, to come in a way in which you start to recognize them. And so any little moment that you have where you recognize that glitch in what had been before, and you can begin to open that space and attune to that energy and amplify it without getting caught in what has been and placing your attention on what has been, and a need for somehow to fix that, or wondering if it's going to get fixed or if things are going to get back to normal, because they are not. what you are going to be experiencing in the next 3 to 5 years will be out of this world. It will be a quantum leap in consciousness. The reality that you're in right now will be almost unrecognizable to the paradigm and the experience of the reality that you will be in what is perceived in linear time in your future. Not only in your what you are perceiving with your mind and your eyes and your outside reality, but the actual physicality of your form, your biology, and the way in which you operate. And so you are in this massive shift or transformational time. And I know that at times it feels frightening, but there is nothing to be afraid of.
Thank you so much, Raphael. And the last question before we get to all of these beautiful questions that we have is, what will always be valuable in the future?
Ah, ah. Well, it's always love. Are
And
you
how does
talking
one,
about are you talking about a substance, a material thing that is valuable, like gold, for instance, because you're asking about financial systems? Or are you talking about what is really always valuable? And that is your essence. It is source. It is God. It is the infiniteness of who you are. It is your essence. And what binds all of that and always has is love.
and I hear what you're saying there, and what I'm trying to get at, and I see that love is the answer, but I'm looking for a way that there would be something that people could quantify. Like we could quantify love, of how much love am I giving to something is then measured in a certain way or something like that. Is that ever going to be a possibility where we live in a community where the current financial system is measured by how much love, attention, presence, and meaning you contribute to others, or something along those lines?
Well, that is the natural currency of abundance. That is the original operating system in which you have fallen from because fear was originated and you did not trust in yourself in the creation process until you fall into a mechanism in which you allowed the mind to guide you rather than the heart. But when you allow the heart to guide you and you recognize that you are the creator of everything that you are experiencing, every single thing in which you can perceive through the lens of your experience is created by you as the creator of all that is, then there is no currency. The currency is love, and it is always measured by that because it is measured by the frequency in which you carry, the energy in which you hold, and that mirror and reflects the reality in which you are experiencing, which is already occurring. That is already the currency. But somehow in your mind, you think the currency is something that you exchange or numbers on a piece of paper. But even the numbers on the piece of paper are a mirrored reflection of the frequency in which you carry and the love in which you embody in order to open up the spaciousness to receive abundance. Now, someone might say, well, how about someone who has a low frequency or is a war criminal or very corrupt, but appears to have lots of dollars in their bank account? Are they too abundant? Well, they may be abundant in the idea of the framework in which you have defined abundance, but they are not abundant in their essence because deep within their being and their soul of who it is that they are in that given moment, there is some understanding and recognition that they are not in alignment with their truth. And so that is not abundance. And real abundance always comes, spiritual abundance and financial abundance comes through the alignment of how much you are tuning to that frequency in its purity.
Thank you, Raphael. I'm going to open it up to other people. Joy, how about you? Let me make sure you can unmute yourself. Try and unmute yourself now. Oh, you should be able to. I thought I just changed it. Joy, can you unmute yourself? I see other people
That
are doing.
that's
There you
it. Got it. Thank you. I have a question about ancestral karma, because I've heard a lot about it over the years, and particularly talking in astrological terms, I've heard a lot about these shifts or clearing a lot of ancestral karma. But I just wondered if Raphael, if you could explain what exactly that, what exactly it is, how does it become part of us, and what steps can we take to sort of see it in action in our lives, if that's how it works, and how to heal it.
Ah. Well, it is descendant of an energy that is encoded and embedded at different points along your journey within your DNA. It gets embedded within it, and it is passed by those along their journey who are unable during their process, without necessarily any judgment to them, to have been able to evolve, grow, process, clear, and heal something in which energetically you, of course, receive and are willing to carry that ancestral lineage forward into a given lifetime with the opportunity for you to clear it, and so that it is no longer needed on a karmic level to repeat itself in the genetic coding of those that come after you. And so much of this energy has been showing up, and you will notice as the veil is so incredibly thin right now, the opportunity to attune to those in which you perceive as ancestors, perceived in another timeline or reality as they are no longer embodied in physical form, are very available in order to come in to work and to collaborate in the healing process of clearing, as you were saying, ancestral karmic energy, in order for that line of ancestral lineage to come back into harmonization, back into purity, and to the energies to return to source. And so that particular unfoldment along your journey is no longer needed, and you can begin other processes. And so ways to go about doing that is to recognize patterns, belief systems, energies, diseases, etc., that are continual in a genetic line through your ancestral lineage, to connect and communicate with those which you perceive it had been carried or passed down to, move into the root of the matter, come into deep connection, move into forgiveness, enter into communication, and create clearing as the energies are then merged and returned back into wholeness, in which the need for the unfoldment on the evolutionary lineage of your experience no longer is necessary. And you are able then to release that as you move forward on your journey in other areas.
Thank you.
So
You're welcome.
much joy. Great question. And thank you, Raphael.
Thank you.
Denise.
Hi, Raphael. Hello.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello. Dear Raphael, I would like to know, we talked today about Earth, 5D Earth, different realms, Sun, Central Sun, Galactic Center, and further away. Could you give us a glimpse of the further realms, their energy, evolution, frequency, beings that inhabit these places, and where would be angelic realm?
It is all inside of you. Everything that you're talking about, everything you're looking for, everything you're wondering about, whether it be the inner earth or the galactic core or the star beings or the masters or the angels, all reside inside of you. They are all a part of you, nested within you, within dimensions that are awakening inside. And so there is nowhere to define or to find them or to look for them or to map them to be, because they are always and always have been right here.
Thank you so much, Raphael. Denise, you can ask one more follow-up question because I'm curious too. Go ahead.
Now, I would ask, uh, what about the angelic realm? Can you talk more about that realm?
Well, of course, I am in the angelic realm, but I am a collective of energies that is a messenger of light, a spiral of light between dimensions and worlds, and I reside inside of you. And when you attune to my energy and frequency, you know me and you feel me. I bring forward the energies from spaces of color, sound, and time and light in which are not accessible in the dimension in which you are experiencing now into your field as a resonance of light in order for you to remember at the essence and the core of who it is that you are. I come with many names and many colors and many dimensions, and you know me as Archangel Raphael, and yet that is also a construct of a story that was brought into formation in order to receive my energies in a way in which was acceptable. In tradition, you see me as a male, and yet I come through this one with that vibration and energy of a more feminine frequency, but I am neither male nor female. I am an essence of pure spiraled white light. And you know those who surround me as Archangel Michael and Ariel and Gabriel and etc. as archangels and beings of light. We are the light bearers and the carriers of messages and codes that descend from the heavenly realm in which you perceive as outside of yourself, but also dwells deep within the cells and the DNA of your own energetic body. And as we are waking up within you as a collective body of light across your planet. And that is the birthing of the new earth.
Thank you so much, Raphael. Arlene.
Yes, thank you, Casey. Hello, Raphael.
Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello.
Can you tell us the best way to release blockages, be they physical or emotional, like childhood traumas and such?
There are many ways in which you can do this, but from our perspective, you can move the energy. Trauma is simply stuck energy that is blocked in the body or embedded within the cellular codes inside the tissue, organs, and cells. It is in the past you would speak of this trauma, and we understand the importance of communicating and releasing energy. But it is that in that process, sometimes the energy even becomes more anchored in because of the communication and attachment to it. If you can perceive it and understand it simply as energy and begin to locate wherever it is held within the body and begin to communicate with the body in this way and the trauma and its energy, not so much as a story, but as a frequency, and begin to open up portals inside the space where the energy is being held. Sometimes the energy is a tiny pebble, sometimes it's a stone, and sometimes it's a big boulder, depending on the density of the trauma that had occurred. Once it is located energetically within the body, you can begin to even take your hands and start to move and to shake the energy. Sometimes the energy becomes very stagnant and caught in the energetic body itself, and it can be stubborn to move. Once you start to move it and get a resonance with it, you can begin to spin the energy. As you begin to spin the energy and open it, you will start to find a space within it in which you are holding it, in which you can place a color, of course, to it or a word to begin to identify and attune and begin to open up communication. But often within the space, there is a place in which you can open a portal. If you can do that and find the doorway to the energetic trauma space that is existing within the body, and you can open a portal, then you can begin to create a dialogue of communication with the energy itself. And as you move into dialogue, you may also ask for assistance, in which case those involved perhaps in the trauma or the system that was occurring may start to come in. As we were saying, the veil is very, very thin right now. And in the thinness of it, your accessibility to energies that may have caused this trauma, who are either living or not living from their energetic field, can come into the space and into the room to begin to work with. Then you can bring in assistance from beings in other dimensional realities. And as you go into this, I want you to create then a boundary around and a container of this space, as you are containing it as a place in which there is a sense of safety. Then you start to come into communication with the energy, and you might feel a pulsing or a moving or a shaking in the body. You might feel a need to move or to twist or to bend or to cry or to scream. You might feel a need to move for a while or breathe a certain way or push on the energy. And you start to come into connection, into relationship, you start to feel it and communicate with it. And then energies will start to come in to support you with this. And through that, and through your intention, revelations and understandings will start to surface, will start to bubble up, and you will start to begin to dissolve and break apart these denser frequencies that are held. And as they start to break apart, you want to really breathe into that and the willingness that I am in this now moment completely and absolutely ready to let this go. As you begin to release this energy and return it to source so that it can be absorbed into the black light of origin of creation itself without judgment, loving and sending it on its way. Once you have begun to feel a movement and a clearing, then you can begin to soften the area on the body because it might feel exposed, like it's had like a wound area or of some sort. You can bring your hands there to that area and soften it. It is not always possible to clear all of these things in one session. It may take several in order to do so, but as you begin to attend to it in this way and give yourself the spaciousness and the time to do this in a private setting, you will notice that you will be able to move there in a quickening pace in your healing process.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. All right, Julie Grace.
Thank you. Blessings, Raphael.
Hello.
Hello. My question is about connections with certain cosmic and archetypal lineages. For example, what some call the Order of the Magdalene. And my understanding that myself and many others in this collective are incarnated at this time. And for example, one purpose of the Magdalenes that resonates with me is to bring light to places of the greatest darkness, such as one who's incarnated into a lineage with much darkness and suffering, with the potential to bring healing to that lineage. Could you say more about those of us here to bring light to the places of great darkness and density, like the Order of the Magdalenes?
Well, this energy is flooding the planet, and it is one of many networks that are coming online that were disengaged, that are coming back. And when we were speaking of, let's say, the tree network coming back, or certain elemental beings coming back, the Magdalene frequency and energy, she is carrying it through her chalice to share these energies of healing, especially in places such you are speaking, in which there is great density and there has been persecution and there has been a feeling and sense of invisibility and a sense of unworthiness and a sense of being misunderstood, and all of these archetypes that were represented by Mary Magdalene herself, and the vibrations of the multiplication of the fractal patterns of these energies deeply embedded within the feminine that are descending and are very present as the networks are aligning on the planet, are quite beautiful and magnificent. And some, such as yourself, are attuned to this frequency and will follow the lead as to how to prepare and do work on different physical locations around the globe and with others to heal these particular archetypes and aspects. And others will not be attuned to this network of frequency, vibration, or work at all, for it is not in alignment with who they are. There is nothing more other than that to say, other than we congratulate you in aligning with that beautiful vibration, in wanting to confirm and acknowledge the importance of that work.
Thank you so much, Raphael.
You're welcome.
Thank you. All right, Karen C.
Hello, hello, Raphael. Thank you, Casey.
Hello, hello.
Hello. I have a question. I have two sons, so I'm wondering about the children, the younger generation on the planet, because they're so caught up, it seems, in the very distractions of the world. How do we, without being so overly pushing on them, consciousness, how do we help them to step into this new earth, and how do we coach them without really being overt about it?
Well, they are already operating on many levels in the new earth. It is not so much a coaching that is needed to give to them, but a attuning to them in presence. And so it is about you, not you particularly, but not an isolation in this way, but in general, being the example of presence as much as absolutely possible, especially when they are aligned to what you might be speaking of in this circumstance as a distraction into many black boxes that keep them occupied, is to be with them and to be present until they feel that presence. And then there is a need for that connection to take place, to create energies and connections and activities, to be in nature, and to have times of disconnect from these frequencies that are what you might call distracting. However, it is very important not to preach about consciousness or to, like you were saying, push something about the new earth, or perhaps even share with them some of these ideas, for they must come into realization on this within their own. And it is simply about being with them in the most unconditional and loving and present way as possible, to lead as example by creating and building the new earth through sacredness in your mealtime together, sacredness in your communication together, sacredness in activities you do together, and cultivating and bringing the vibration of the new earth into the simple things in your daily experience with one another, to start to build that energy and that potency so that it may begin to ripple through within them. It is that they already carry the energies and the codes of the new earth inside of them. And in some ways, they're biding their time for all of you adults to figure it out, and for the leap and the change to happen. In the meantime, they can get caught in the distraction of the 3D experience, but that does not necessarily mean that they are not attuned on some level, even though not necessarily conscious, to much higher frequencies.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Raphael. Thank you, Karen. Important question. Louise.
Hello,
Hello.
hello. So I wanted to ask, what are the common blocks that prevent people from knowing that they can heal themselves? And what role does unworthiness play?
Unworthiness is the essence, the kernel, should we say, of the crux of the inability to heal. Because unless one feels worthy of wholeness and healing within their body, whether conscious or unconscious, the floodgates can be tampered with or blocked to allow the universal healing energy to pass through. And so it can require a deepening in recognition of oneself in relationship to self, in the understanding of one's worthiness. So worthiness is an enormous component in healing, and is one of the things that absolutely can hinder and cause the process to be delayed until one comes into alignment with absolute love for who they are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Great
Thank
question.
you.
Elizabeth.
Hello.
Hello.
I have a question about our bodies. Since there is so much new energy coming in and the earth is renewing herself, can our bodies renew themselves? Can we use at this time, and how do we do it?
Well, just as many systems that we were speaking of will be collapsing, new innovative ideas, concepts that aren't actually new but quite ancient will be coming online in the capacity to create a quickening within your cells, and spontaneous healing will become more commonplace in a very short period of time. And how it is that one aligns with that energy is through an absolute knowing and belief in your own body and the power that resides within your body and the innate intelligence that created your body in its ability to heal your body, in the trusting of that, in which the paradigm of seeking healing from something outside of self rather than moving inward begins to shift, and you attune to it as vibration. And when vibration and sound and color become the primary focus of bringing balance into the human form, you will be able, in a very quickened speed, to be able to eliminate many of the sufferings of diseases in which continue on your particular planet to plague the human race. And so, how you begin to do that is to begin practicing with your capacity, perhaps for things that you totally believe in the depth of your essence of who you are, that you can heal first and begin to see evidence of that. Because some of the things that you might want to heal, there may be an underlying, deep held, embedded belief around that, or coded pattern that needs to come to the surface in order to be dissolved. That unraveling that on the onset may be difficult. So begin first with simpler things to create a sense of relationship and trust within your own body and its own innate intelligence as you delve deeper into what might appear to be harder energies to bring into balance and healing, knowing that anything within the body can and will be healed.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right. Rain, go ahead and ask your question. Rain?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello. Okay, I have the question prepared right here. There are many with the vision to move into a village type living situation, including temples and geomancy, where folks connect with each other and the land, with the elementals very deeply day to day. I am wondering if you have insight on upcoming availability of land to make these projects more attainable.
Yes. This is something that is another network that will be built. There will be communities of people growing food and collaborating and attuning to many of the indigenous ways that will start popping up all around the planet and creating their own grid work. The land will start to come into awareness and begin to interface or merge with those who have the intention to work with the land in this way, and the land will present itself and show up, and you will begin to create a relationship or a marriage with the land. And these different pieces of land all over the planet will start to communicate with one another, and a network will be born. This is one of the most powerful networks that will be created during these shifts in which you are experiencing. And yet perhaps you are asking that you already know that this will occur, but how do you acquire the land that may be needed in order to begin to create these eco villages of sorts? And that is to begin to spend time on different parts of land and properties and commune and connect and communicate with the land, and to intend and invite land to come into your experience through whatever channels are necessary in order for you to become a stewarded of it. And through that process, you can begin to create a relationship in which the land will appear. And this may seem like a fantasy, but these are the kind types of things that will start occurring in the everyday lives of many of you as you begin to fully recognize the power of your intention and your creation in relationship to all energies to bring forth what is ever needed, as long as it is in alignment for the highest good and the service and the building of the new earth, it will appear.
All right. Wow. So lovely. So lovely. So many people are thinking of that. Caroline.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi. So my question is just around injury and accidents and wondering why that there are people, children and or adults that are more injury prone or experiencing injury, and is it related to the energy that they're holding on to, or is it karmic related? So just wondering if you have more information.
Well, there can be a series of moments in one's life where an injury will or an accident keep coming up. Of course, it is obvious on many levels that this is the universe or the energies speaking to one that something needs to change, in which we are not fully grounded in alignment with your essence, and that something is being asked to shift. And they will come sometimes in sequences and might appear to be small at first, but may then escalate into something larger. They are often considered what we might be thinking of like a wake-up call, in order for a change to happen. And so it is often in a relationship to having a difficult time remaining grounded and remaining in truth and alignment with one's purpose, that may have gotten off track, not in any way to blame or deliberately. And so the energies will kind of come in and push something down or shift something or bring something in order for one to be in a place of solitude or silence or disengage from a particular workforce or from school or from an energy where they have an opportunity to reflect or have contemplation, to go more inward, to write, to attune, to get clarity. And so if it continues happening, it is the energies asking to pay attention to this, to ground in, to get clear on what is off balance and how to bring that back into balance.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you. That used to be me.
All right. Well, it is that
Oh,
this being, what is it? Yeah.
one more question, Raphael, and then we'll call it.
Yes. What is it?
All right, Andrea, go ahead.
Hello, Archangel Raphael.
Hello.
Hello. My question is, I've been listening to Pam Gregory and Tim Wilde and a number of other very ascended beings on the planet, and they've talked about a percentage of light workers who are continually going up. And I'm wondering if the percentage of the light workers has surpassed the 51 and 49%, which will speed up the enlightenment of the earth toward the golden age.
Yes. You've already surpassed it. You're already moving at a rapid pace. You're already fully engaged in connecting and attuning to the golden age. You may find yourself, from your perspective, in a reality in the in between or on the bridge between worlds. And we know that that is not always easy, but we do not like to use the word light and dark because there are all polarities are needed to come within union, within the 0 point to birth new realities. But for linear perspective of understanding in the construct in which many of you are still somewhat operating in, you might want to think of it in a way that the light of love, for instance, perhaps is a better way of attuning to it, has amplified to the level that is necessary for all of you to experience this quantum leap into the new earth.
Thank you, Archangel Raphael.
You're welcome. And so with that, we are wanting to send so much love and so much light from the angelic realm as we are working with the codes that are arriving and coming in now to attune you to the guardians of the galactic frequencies as you begin to come into stronger and deeper relationship with your star families and beings that are operating in other dimensional realities as the portals and the gateways open to those realities and the communication and connection to them and the receptivity of their energies of light pouring into your crown and your heart and your body to support you in receiving more love at this time are present. And with that, we send to you all of that light from the angelic realm. Many blessings and good day.
Good day.
All right. Well, thanks everybody for joining in today and talking to the Angel Raphael. We so appreciate you being here. We love you all so much. I'm going to be doing a couple new podcasts coming up this week, so look for them on YouTube. We'll send them out. If you didn't listen to my interview with Pam Gregory last week, love for you to check that out as well. I know Veda Austin is on right now. It's a beautiful, beautiful interview. I didn't get a chance to listen to the whole thing, but just reminding us that we're on track, that we're moving into this golden age, that we're building the new earth together, not to lose hope, to stay in alignment, to support one another, to know we're all in this community together and we can help each other. The next light code that I will be transmitting begins on June 2nd. It's called the Galactic White Horse. We're going to ride the horse of creation through the stars into the galactic realms and open up portals and gateways within your body. If you'd like to join us, you can register below or in the email. And we send you so much love. Have a beautiful weekend. And I'll see you next Wednesday at 3 o'clock New York time, ready to answer more questions. All right. Take care. Love, love, love.